Alicia Melnick. She's the dedicated ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union lawyer, who has been supporting our effort, which I don't believe ever even, but there's a group of us that have been like on a 20-minute call, hauling ass down to the Capitol building and to Augusta to find out about their tricky double dealings and what those special committees might happen to be up to, shifting around and dealing with the medical marijuana laws and all the rest of the stuff about it, because it not to get off the track, but it's, they said have they not that we live in a democracy, and of course, as we all know, there's two forms of democracy. There's majority vote democracy, and there is democracy by consensus, and it seems to be during the misguided war on some drugs, that during this so-called war on some drugs, that when they come knocking on their door, they got to come in the door. They got to come right through that door right then and there. But when it comes to explaining to them the uses of the God-given seed-bearing herb, hemp, cannabis, marijuana, it takes them, years and years and decades for them to get it through their heads about it. Anyway, so does that make me a Republican? Well, let me go back. There's many more people. Dr. Dustin Zulak, Deb Sanderson, Glenn Peterson, Roger and Jewel, Kim and Ken and Ryan. And, it's sometimes I like to think, how is this different and how is it alike from the very earliest hemp stock, the first one, which was in, there was only one event that year in '91. It was at the peak of one of the very intense high peaks of a century-long war on some drugs, especially in this country, in the summer in August of 1991, and I was card-carrying member number 17 of Maine Vocals, and so we organized and we framed up and built this stage here and ran some bands, and the first hemp stock was one Sunday afternoon, and it was a $5 donation. And but we're in, by some factors, we're going to be limited to at the really like what we got now, which is 3 events here, and to include a little bit of history, just for your information. Well, what happened was, of course, with a bunch of anarchists, pothead anarchists running the organization, things got out of hand, and it was easy to remember that number 1 hemp stock was in '91, so number 2, '92, number 3, '93, number 11 was in '01, number 21 was in 2011, and so forth, But by the 3rd or 4th year, the damn thing got so huge that it overflowed from here, and the town became they got all stirred up about it, and they quickly enacted like a very restrictive mass gathering ordinance. How many people we can have up here and park, but also right along with that, like what you see out in front here is mud, and when you watch a hayfield when you watch a hayfield for 30 years, you soon find out that anything like in your garden or out in your hayfield is exposed to mud. Well, the seed has just been waiting, sitting there, of the broadleaf plantain and all the other kind of goofy, cruddy weeds, just waiting to come up and germinate there, and degrade the quality of a hayfield. So we're right now, and I hope you're having a super duper terrific time here tonight. We're just getting started for tonight. We got more music warming up. We're gonna run down a couple things, you know, that it's been my experience with cannabis, needless to say, has been like a lengthy and historical one, and it'd be impossible to go into all the details, but my first exposure to it was in the year of it was in the same year as the Summer of Love, 1967, and then, you know, from there it was didn't have nowhere to go, and I narrowly missed Woodstock because I was a 3-year senior Connecticut State Park Main Beach lifeguard. I was a state park lifeguard. I was a public safety official at a summer job in college, and all us lifeguard boys, you know, we could have took off for the weekend. I had my 1964 VW bus. You know, we could have took off, but, well, anyways, and from there, in college, I became involved in the different, more becoming radical movements as the U.S. involvement in the Vietnamese people's struggle for national liberation from colonial oppression widened and deepened, and the American troop troop occupation in Vietnam went from several thousand in the mid '60s to about 500,000 by '68 or '69, and just about anybody that wasn't in school or had a broken leg was like gonna be getting shit. We were like, you know, measured and weighed and getting shipped off as red meat, you know, to Vietnam. And well, but you know, back then, and we said it then, and we're saying it now. We, you know, war is not the answer. And we had, and I'd like to, before I'm done here, express a few of the over the years sayings that have popular, meaningful expressions that have come to mind. You know, and you may be saying it with flowers at this moment as you pack a bowl with your favorite bud. You know, that I call saying it with flowers. You know. But going way back, it was, and I remember this. I don't even want to tell you how old I am, you know, but it was like ban the bomb. It was from the 50s or the early 60s when nuclear bombs were literally allowed to smoke, you know, and they literally had atmospheric testing of nuclear bombs, you know. and what it took, and it was just a despised so-called lunatic fringe of like peaceniks that ever got the government or anybody moved to finally come up off of that. And I'd like to be sure to emphasize that we in the hemp movement are try to be cognizant at all times of the we are all human beings, and none of us are perfect creatures. While sometimes it seems that some of the government agencies that have been created are nothing but pure evil, but that we believe in truth and reconciliation, and we are here, and as it says in the good book, a candle lights the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. And what do we want?
He needs a pad, but not that kind of pad.
What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. Peace. Now. Peace. Now. Peace. Now. Peace. Now. Well, if guns were outlawed, only outlaws would have guns. Thought I'd throw that one in there to confuse you, you know. Killing for peace is like fucking for chastity. Make love, not war. All we are saying is give peace a chance. And back in the Vietnam War days, we said, hell no, we won't go. And then back at Seabrook, at the third occupation of Seabrook, we said, hell no, we won't glow.
For the guitar? Yeah, sure.
And there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. And the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not make your eyes see better. The revolution will not bring you, the revolution will not eliminate ring around the collar. The revolution will not eliminate waxy buildup. The revolution will not relieve the sniffles and snuffles. The revolution will not be televised. All power to the people. And so we've had some significant developments lately on the medical marijuana front. Why? See, excuse me. I'm card carrying. Registration card in the name of registration number, Department of DHS, and as of and our representative Hillary attended the early morning governor's private signing of new legislation that no longer requires that medical marijuana patients register with the state, but only need a like a note from their doctor, if you will, to avoid police harassment. And why? Well, it's enough to get you wondering. I always thought, you know, used in the right way, that as a federal judge once described a joint, smoked marijuana from the flowering tops of the rolled plant, smoked marijuana from the flowering tops of a whole plant in rolled cigarette form. But that is, I've always thought that it was mostly harmless, but certainly almost anything could probably be abused if somebody, well, you know, tried really hard enough. And but it's, you know, it's got me wondering now. What do I'm the medical? I'm taking enough medical marijuana. It might be curing me of things I didn't know I didn't know I even had. You know. and it's got me to wondering, could it cure the elusive malady of hiccups? You know, where the you know, poor fella or woman you know, travels to the far corners of the world looking for a cure for the hiccups. You know, and there it is, staring right in front of them. You know, and then wouldn't you know? But I got the odd idea the other day. I was looking at my dog, and I was wondering like, why does my dog look at me the way they do? And I was thinking, well, damn, maybe that dog needs medical marijuana. You know.
Or he has to go out, one or the other.
or maybe they have to go out. You know. Hey, Robert.
And get stoned. Go out and get stoned.
Yeah. Maybe they're going out and trying to hide out. You know, or to hide out. And well, don't forget the vendors up here, and